and welcome to Daytime Talk After Dark. My name is Al Jackson, but that is unimportant. What is important is that I'm joined by my two girls sitting here looking as pumped up as I've maybe ever seen you two. You guys look ready to go. Tor, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling pumped up.
All right, Erica, how you?
Great.
All right, have you recovered from your Savannah Bananas experience?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was last Saturday. Your wonderful girlfriend Sar.
She's pretty good.
I went with her and her friend Audrey, who was
Yes.
lovely, and our friend Corinne, who was just on the show a couple weeks ago.
Corinne is fam at this point.
Yes. And let me tell you, first of all, this is no shade to the Savannah Bananas, okay? I find this to be very interesting because depending on who you are and your algorithm, you have completely different expectations of what you're walking into.
Interesting.
So, yes. So, like, for instance, Corinne, who is single and talks about like her single life and all of that, definitely thought that this was like Chippendales. Okay.
I could see that.
That
last name is Bananas.
She thought that we were going into like Magic Mike, Thunder from Down Under, like could not understand why there were so many children there.
I told my girl it's Magic Mike with a curveball. That's really what it is.
I had to explain to her no more than 10 times that this is a family fun event. Okay.
Which is what Corinne... That
hates.
is her, the gates of hell is a family fun
event. You're right.
So, I would have gone just to look at her face.
I was like, first of all, they went to Grizzly Rose after, which I just refused to go.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like the last layer of hell to me. And so I was like, y'all have so much fun. But she's dressed in like this super cute, like Lululemon denim, like little jumper with this massive like cowgirl belt and cowboy boots. I am dressed in like a blue sundress in my Adidas because we're going to a baseball game. Okay.
Right.
Then there are the people who are like definitely there for the aerial acts, the acrobatics, like all of that. Then there are the people who are like, I kind of like baseball. Seems like a good idea. Let's, hang out, whatever. But depending on who you are, your expectations are completely different. But it was sold out. They put on such a great performance. Their marketing is genius to have that many different segments of the population.
You know what I just thought about as you were talking? I wonder, do you think this is AI figuring out demographics and figuring out exactly what your
I think it's their marketing team. A great marketing team, shout out to Comeback TV Presents. But a great marketing team can really do that. Like I could see it in real time. Like as the guy did like a backflip in the air and then the board was behind him, the Jumbotron was behind him. I'm like, that's definitely going to be a clip that they post. And then when the guy came out and you could see his abs or whatever, he was like walking. I was like, that's a different clip. It's just
that's a clip for Corinne.
Yeah, that's what you're picking up. And honestly, I was impressed, very impressed by how they put that together.
They're selling out like stadiums.
Crazy.
And you and I and friends from work did that backflip catch and it was so amazing. And I love the my favorite's the umpire. He's like really into the dancing.
Right.
I just love it all. It's just a good time.
Yeah.
It's just a good time in a world that's really hard right now. The Savannah Bananas are keeping us afloat.
That's a great point that I would have never thought about. Is no matter how you feel about it, it's the distraction for 2 hours.
Totally.
If you want to go see a guy do a cool catch, cool. If you want to see a hot guy with abs, here you go. If you want to go actually see the Law and Order line dance, you can do that too. So yeah, I was really shocked. And to your point, Erica, talking about the different demos, I thought they only had one demo, which was Corinne. I thought they were aiming at women that age that want to come, not even that age, but just women that want to see hot guys. And then when we have a mutual family friend and they were there with their family, and they all had banana heads on.
Yeah, I had friends go in full banana costume.
Yeah, full banana.
Full banana.
And sorry, my girlfriend just goes, they bought some merch. But yeah, it's just like, it's also a family thing. I mean, maybe this is the future of entertainment. It's like someplace where almost like the mall, like a little something for everybody. So
yeah, that's so hard to do. That's why I found it to be so fascinating, because Corinne legit was like, why are there so many children here? And I said, don't worry about it.
That's exactly what
I'm like, she's like, there's so many children here. And I was like, yeah, but there is no line at the bar.
Right.
Like,
yes.
It was amazing.
Silver lining.
Yeah. By the way, I've been to Grizzly Rose with Corinne, and it was like top 15 favorite nights of my life.
Corinne there's a bar here in Denver called the Grizzly Rose. She walks in there like it's the bar from Roadhouse.
Dude, she
she
knows
runs it.
Hey, what's up, Tim? What's going on? Al, how's your wife, Becky? Good? Let's go sit.
My girl, who I'm acting like she's not right there, but I was just like,
hi,
I can't believe what a champ she was, because she went to the Bananas game, she went to lunch before, and then she went to Grizzly Rose, and they kicked it the whole time. But what she was saying, which is I didn't understand, I think padding is good for a microphone in the podcast.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Winnie! Hi, Mama. You're your baby.
Yeah, what she was saying with the Grizzly Rose is that there's a line dance for every song that everybody just knew.
Knows.
So that if you don't know it, you're just like trying to learn on the fly, and it's like, oh,
I'm
you don't.
Sorry, I'm just over here.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's sit down. There you go.
I don't know, but yes, I saw all the cute videos and all the lassoing. So yes, that was very cute. Speaking of cute, Ronaldo's wife got a cute little ring.
Let's say it's not Ronaldo, Cristiano. Oh,
Please do not fart, Winnie.
Yeah. Go ahead, honey bear.
I love you, child, but not your ass. I'm so sorry.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano?
Yes.
Ronaldo. It was engaged to his fiancée and delivered a ring of a certain amount of carats.
Weren't they engaged for a while?
They were together for 8 years.
Okay.
And so he apparently proposed with a 15-carat diamond ring.
Carat.
Yes.
Is that a lot?
15.
That's a lot.
Carats.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so many carats.
That's the type of that's the type of hardware that you're not just gonna walk around the streets with unless you want to lose a finger or your life.
Yeah. I mean, you're walking around with generational wealth on your finger.
Yeah. That's in case something happens, they have that ring. No joke.
Really?
Yes.
Like what would happen?
If you give your wife a gift, it's like something with taxes. It's not taxable, and you can use that for yourself. That's why you see a lot of people when they're in trouble, they'll get their wife something very expensive, because if they need to, they can use it.
Oh.
It's equally liquidated. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I would
like
always
art,
say
almost.
Yeah, I would always say, like, that's the reason why, and this is like, I mean, Tori brought this up, but it's like, it is very high level. So when people buy jewelry and it's not like, it looks big, but the quality isn't there, then it doesn't really serve the same purpose, because it needs to be easily liquidated.
Yeah, it's
so
gotta
that
be
means that there has
expansive.
to be value to it.
Yes.
Oh, that's it. Well, I mean, I told you I heard this interview with this former drug dealer, and he was like, everybody, makes fun of us. They're like, of course, a drug dealer buying 5 cars and all these fur coats. What are you doing? He's like, we do that because if we get busted, our assets get frozen. Yeah. You can liquidate that money
exactly
for
what
a
you
lawyer.
do. Yeah.
So yes,
I do worry though, because Kim Kardashian had an enormous ring and kind of, put it out there on social media, and then she got gagged, handcuffed, and robbed by specific French armed robbers that knew about the ring, and they took it. And so there is, and she never puts up her jewelry anymore. She never shows her jewelry on Instagram. So I do worry that this is like a target, because that ring is now, I mean, I don't know how much it's worth, but I don't know, for robbers.
Well, there was a rash of break-ins during NFL games while people were playing.
Oh, really?
Last season. I mean, it's a weird thing where, we try and be very conscious of if one of us is going to be out of town, we talk about that event after the person has returned, and we are who we are. But if you're a multi-millionaire athlete, I can see you. You're in Boston right now.
Totally. You're very visible. Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
she.
it's a weird thing where if you are touring or being photographed somewhere, that's the only thing. It's almost like, in a weird way, the same way like my car was stolen from the airport. It's a great place to go because the person's not coming right back. You got a few hours.
No, totally. I will say this, because I've been hearing this conversation a lot online. men who are basically saying like, see, it doesn't matter if it takes 8 years to propose. Look, you are not Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. The 8-year thing, like if y'all on the same page, you don't want to get married, yada yada, whatever. Okay, great. But if you are someone of a certain age, you want to get married, I would not suggest waiting for that to happen for 8 years.
I'd be like, I'm a walk-in. These boots are made for a walk-in.
And then you hear something about a 15-carat ring. And
I'm
you're
back.
Like, yeah, these boots are also
walking
made
around.
to walk right back in this house.
These boots are made for turning around. Yeah, right.
Okay, so what would you have told her if this is just Cristiano Williams, who your dad used to work with his dad, and now he's got a girlfriend, and his girlfriend's like, Tori, what should I do?
8 years, there's an issue. There's a
What
commitment.
about 4 years?
It's really up to the person, but 3 years plus, I'm like, yo, TikTok, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? TikTok.
Well, especially if you're like in that playing house mode.
Yeah, if you're moved in together.
But honestly, this is what really needs to be done. So year 5, if you're really holding out and there's this promise, then that is the time to go and do estate planning. It's also the time to ensure that you as the significant other are on all of those documents in one way or another. Because what you don't want to have happen is something happens to that person, they lose their life. Now all of their stuff is in probate and you have been their life partner for X amount of years and you have absolutely no claim to anything. You can't make any decisions on their behalf. You don't have any claim to the property that you guys shared together. You have a difficult time settling their estate, and then their estate could go to a next distant family member that they may not even have a relationship with.
Right.
Wow.
So this isn't about like, oh, clowning people because they've been dating without a ring for too long. It's about being prepared.
Mm-hmm. But also TikTok, get on that. You know what I mean? Hurry it up.
All right. Well, Wendy Williams' medical evaluation is complete, y'all.
Is she incapacitated or not?
Well, they are going to pause the litigation over the A&E documentary that was released and Wendy's people, and they're deciding whether she is going to be able to basically move forward without guardianship. So what you know about Wendy Williams and what you've seen so far, do you think
I see two different Wendy Williams. I see ones with Graves' disease who is incapacitated and mentally just unstable. But then I see Wendy Williams banging in a window being like, I am fine. And I've seen her on ads being like, I'm perfectly fine. So I'm confused as if she's incapacitated or in some kind of abusive conservatorship.
Right.
I think there's something more
Going
nefarious
on.
going on.
Yeah, it feels like
And
abuse here.
I feel like she was targeted for reasons that we may find out or maybe not. She called Claudia Jordan.
Really?
Yeah.
And
had a full hour and 15-minute conversation with her.
she sounds coherent?
Yes.
Like a lucid conversation. Right.
Yes.
That's what I'm confused by.
I feel like someone's going to have to explain to me how Kanye walks freely and Wendy Williams is in a conservatorship.
And banging on a window.
It feels like the timing, it feels like there is a lot that I'm questioning. I think Free Wendy Williams documentary in hindsight will be a very interesting situation. I don't know. I just feel like there's something very fishy going on.
Yeah, it
and
doesn't
I do
feel
believe
right.
that she was targeted.
Wow. Well, that does make sense. I mean, these conservatorships, it seems like they were initially put in place for people that like literally could not speak for themselves, literally could not make cognitive decisions for themselves. And now it's for like people acting kooky. Do I believe that Britney Spears acts kooky? Yeah. Do I know that she wouldn't be potentially targeted by people with nefarious intentions, just like when that photog married her? Remember that? After the shaved head incident, paparazzi
Sam.
married. No, not Sam.
No, there was a Sam before.
Oh, that's that's just disappointing. Sorry. And so she was targeted because she's famous and somebody that took so like, how do you protect against that? It just seems like all of these situations are very unique, and it just seems like a lot of times there's not like an Erica or a Tori around to be like, oh, I feel comfortable handing it over. It's always like, yeah, send her to me.
Mm-hmm,
You know, it just, you can just see the person doing math in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder, like, what are the grounds to make a decision when it seems like nobody's the right decision?
Well, I also think that this kind of goes back to the idea of what we were talking about with marriage and just really having paperwork. Like, there are a lot of people in this world who, for whatever reason, choose to be estranged from the people who are either in their family, or they decide to completely break off and no one really sees or hears from them. You don't know, like, if there's someone who is out there just ready to prey on somebody who doesn't have any tentacles to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that makes you very vulnerable. And I know that's a weird thing to say about someone like Wendy Williams, but Wendy was definitely codependent on her ex-husband.
Absolutely.
And when he abandoned her for another woman, she spiraled out of control. For a long time, it was her and Kevin. So there wasn't anyone who had the authority in her life to say, hey, girl, I'm noticing this. That seemingly is like, has been the prevailing sentiment about it. And if you don't have somebody who historically has been in your ear and you trust and believe in, then I can see how somebody who has been so isolated can be in this position, because who is there to say, hey, I know Al, I know Tori, I know that she doesn't have a track record for this.
Right.
This, it sounds like, and let me call, somebody who can do that. And when you talk about people who are so high level, and also there's an investment there. How did we learn about this? It was all because Wells Fargo freezed her accounts. Why was Wells Fargo the first indication that something was going wrong with Wendy Williams?
Wow.
A financial institution?
Right.
As Al would say, that dog don't hunt.
That dog don't hunt.
Smell like a Seattle fish market in the middle of summer.
Well, Tori, this conversation makes me, it's kind of sadly leads to the next story, because we are going to talk about Matthew Perry. We are talking about the recent article that came out where Jennifer Aniston said that she was already in mourning for her friend before he actually passed. And the way that it relates to the Wendy Williams story is what you said, Erica, was really poignant to me and really struck a bone, because when we were still doing DBL, we had a discussion about Matthew Perry on the air. He wasn't sick or anything at this point, or at least no one really knew it. And it was over like him selling a t-shirt that said, COVID vaccine, could I be any more whatever the t-shirt said. We were talking about that, but it went semi-viral. A friend of mine who knows him very well and was close in his life, she called me and she's like, oh, I saw you on your show talking about my friend Matthew Perry. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And she was just like, oh, he's gone. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, and I was like, you don't think he can get better? And she was like, there's nothing left. And what she was telling me, and we kind of saw the same thing with Richard Simmons, is a lot of these Hollywood elites get surrounded by, in certain cases, health guru guys, like weirdo leech guys, and them and their assistant and their other little mushroom gurus surround you and box out Erica, and box out Nick, and box out your brother, and they're taking this person's phone calls. Tori's not here right now. That kind of stuff. And they dope you up and they just drain your accounts. And maybe that's, who knows who was. I do remember from that Wendy Williams documentary, that random manager that came out of nowhere and flew her out to LA for a meeting.
Yes.
And somebody was like, I love Wendy. She did not need to be meeting with anybody in this right now. And it's just kind of like, because she was like, this is my shot. I'm going to take this famous person to LA, pose as her manager, and hopefully I'll get 15% or whatever this deal is, even though I have no background with her. So it's
that's what happens when you're vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Like, it is really, I know not everybody is people. I do understand that, but you better find your people. Like, there is only really one way of protection in general, and it generally comes down to consistency, consistent relationships, consistent communication in some respects. Like, what really bothers me the most about these situations is that there was a moment. And I think sometimes people see these moments happening where it's almost like sliding glass doors. Like, you know that there's at this moment is going to be a pivotal time. It's going to change either this person's life forever or a substantial part of it. And the truth is, not everybody is going to be equipped to intervene. Not everyone should be equipped to intervene. But that's the thing. It's like you have to be able to understand like who's really there for you and who's not. And I know that not everybody has somebody. So I'm like, find your person.
Well, and don't forget, Tori, and I want your thoughts on this. Erica's talking about consistency, which is very true in a perfect scenario. But I think where consistency goes away is when you have drug use. Because a lot of times even the closest people to you say, I have to step back right now.
Yeah,
because of
that's fair.
and you know, when you have Wendy Williams, who has battled alcoholism off and on, seems like for a lot of her adult life, Matthew Perry famously has struggled with drugs and alcohol. That leaves these gaps for these randos to get in there.
It's so funny because I was just thinking that Matthew Perry literally was on a show called Friends, and those friends had to step back, like a lot of them, and they were all really close, but they had to step back because it was like there was nothing more that they could do, and they were not part of his life. So yeah, I think this is called like ambiguous grief, or ambiguous grief is like a major thing I dealt with in my life. Again, not with drug dealing, but my mom was so sick and in a coma and out of a coma and stuff like that, that you sort of start grieving her as she's living. And it's a very strange world to be mourning your mother.
Do you think it's a way for your mind to start to prepare itself, to protect itself almost?
Yeah, but it's a bizarre twilight space to be in where your mother's alive, but she's already like, you're mourning her death. And people with chronic illness have this, people with drug use have this, with dangerous activities have this, but it's a very strange pull because you want to be close to the person, but you somehow also want to protect yourself. So you like back up a little bit. So there was part of me that was like lucky I wasn't living in DC with my mom because I didn't have to like see it all the time and I could have some space. But how do you say that about your mother who's in a coma? Like, it's so strange. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember we had someone who had written a book about anticipatory.
Yeah, anticipatory or ambivalent or ambiguous grief. Yeah.
The different stage or the different types of grief. Yeah. And you had a really powerful conversation with her. I would say that it's almost, I remember when I saw the movie Emmanuel about the Emmanuel 9 and one of the husbands.
Yeah, you're talking about the church parishioners that were murdered by Dylan Roof in South Carolina.
Yes. And this particular moment just stuck out to me so much, but it was a husband. He and his wife had been married for decades and they were so happily married. And he was like, I would always get my sugar from her when she walked out the door. And he said, and that day, I'll never forget, I couldn't touch her. Like, he said, it was like she was already gone. Like, there was a physical force that he felt that he couldn't, and he thought, he remembered it, that I didn't kiss my wife, that he saw her, but he couldn't get past this force. And when I think of anticipatory or grief and, things like that, that's how it resonates in my head now. Like, they're physically there. It's the person gone. You love, but they're not. Like, there's something between the two of you.
And it's almost a little bit, I don't mean to say this, but it's a little bit harder than when she actually died. Because there was closure, and there was a way to say goodbye, and there was a shiva, and people come, and there's food, and there's, you're kept busy, and the morning is normal. But the in-between is a bizarre, very lonely, very, like, scary place to be. And I remember being in that place for, like, years and years and not knowing. I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And it's, like, a horrendous place to want to tell your mom everything, give your mom everything, share with your mom everything. And then I wanted to like keep my distance from my mom because I was like, you're almost gone. Like, you're almost not here. So yeah, it's a incredibly awkward place that no one really talks about until recently. So, yeah, I understand what Jennifer Aniston's saying about that kind of grief. So,
yeah,
sorry to be like bummer town about it.
I don't know. No, I mean, we can talk about everything on this show.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm listening to you talk about that ambiguous grief, and I'm like, would I have preferred that over just finding out that my dad was gone?
It's somehow easier somehow.
It's like weirder because I don't know. I don't feel like I ever grieved him at all.
Yeah.
You know, because I just had to, when you're the oldest kid or the one that's going to do all the work, you just snap into adult mode and just like call the medical examiner, call the coroner. What are we going to do with this stuff? I'll get his stuff. When do you want to meet over there? You don't have a second, That's
what keeps you busy in a way. And that's in Shiva, in Judaism, for 7 full days, you have to host people. You have to have people at your house. You have to have people over for food. You have to get the rabbis. You go to the funeral. You go to and it's literally psychological. They say 7 days is the worst part of your grief. So you're kept busy on purpose so that you're not just wallowing in grief. I love that
tradition.
So Judaism is literally psychologically helping you get through the worst week of your life by keeping you busy at almost all the time. There's rituals you have to do. You have to rip your clothes. You have to cover your mirrors with black cloths. Like there's all this stuff you have to do.
What's the covering mirrors? What's that
so that
for?
you're not thinking of yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not you respect that you have no vanity right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just about, and you rip
What about like I'm really good looking?
Oh God,
and I
Al,
know that,
is
and I have
so
to walk.
bad.
Okay, this is not
that
the
is
time,
messed
Al.
up. That is messed up, Al.
Okay.
Judy just looked down at you.
Judy loves me.
Judy, she did laugh. She laughed. I'm sure
That's
she laughed.
my girl. Yeah.
She did love you both very, very much. But yeah,
yeah,
it's a very odd space psychologically that I feel like most people don't talk about. But with someone ill, it is there all the time. It's a hum. It's a hum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, I do want to bring this up. It is the last semi-bummer topic that we were going to talk about, but it's a thought that I have all the time. And it's weird because it's a conversation my girl and I had a couple weeks ago. A 12-year-old girl was killed on an e-scooter. And it really made me start thinking about, my girl and I were driving home the other day, and she was like, why didn't you go this way? And I was like, there's a bike lane, and a lot of times there's e-scooters, and at night I am so scared. I am going to
someone died here on an e-bike recently.
It's like you're going very fast. I have a friend of mine whose boyfriend passed away. I feel like such a boomer, Erica, saying this.
No, I totally agree.
People are drunk
in e-scooter central.
Yeah, so Erica, they're like near misses. Sometimes you're at a stop sign, and then just your headlights are on, so you can see right in front of you, and it's dark on either side. And right before you push the gas, like a 20-year-old with her 19-year-old friend on her back just go right by your car, and you're like, oh, that could have been my life changed.
Yeah,
right there.
What's so crazy about it drives me crazy. I cannot take it because I live in a neighborhood where there are a ton of e-scooters. And the bikes, all the things are there. There's also a ton of bars and restaurants. And you cannot tell me that people aren't drunk off their butts getting on these things. My neighborhood does not have just straight sidewalks. I trip at least twice a day every time I walk, and I'm sober and it's daylight and I'm on foot, okay?
That is not a joke.
No, there's cracks. Yeah. It's uneven.
It's on a hill.
And people are just flying down where I'm like, I nearly lost my life in a flip-flop, okay? And you want to be going 20 miles an hour? Years ago, we had a Canada Day party. And I think I came back to work and I told you guys this couple, and they were not like in their 20s. Okay. And, they had been partying around the area. They came, they had some poutine. And I was like, oh, so what are you guys doing? They're like, oh, we're going to grab this. There's a couple scooters down there. I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's fine. We do it all the time. And I was like, I don't think you should. And they were like going back and forth. So I just stood outside and I'm in front of the Ring camera. And I'm like, I do not advise you to get on a scooter right now. It is a super busy day. There are all these people around and it's quite dangerous on an average day. I do not think that you should do that. Y'all got plenty of money. Just call an Uber. Yeah. You know what? I will call the Uber. Nope. And you know how I get about calling Ubers because, we've tussled a few times.
Yes.
So-
Erica has
Yeah.
grabbed me by the nape of my
I've
neck.
been there
and-
watching
Yeah.
this. I know.
So I don't play, but these weren't my people. So I'm like, okay. Literally 5 minutes later, she comes back to the door and her chin is so busted open. I nearly projectile vomited. I'm like, what happened? She fell like literally halfway around the corner and tore her face up. I had to convince them to go to urgent care. I was like, she needs
I'll
stitches.
call an Uber for you.
Dude, these people need a lot of convincing to do
Yes.
things. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand like why people have they become so bold on something that is so unsafe. And it's scary. We had someone killed in our neighborhood.
Yeah. The ER, was it the ER docs see like 400 accidents a year?
All my friends that are doctors said they spiked when these came out because a lot of times, even if you're on like a city block where you're passing, corner stores and furniture stores, there's still those alleyways. And
we sound like boomers now.
Yeah, but no, I mean, people, honestly, speaking of boomers, we're talking about older people on these things too. I'm not going to know names, but somebody that Tori and I did a fundraiser for who is miraculously better. So we did it, fam. I was happy to find out that they were feeling so good. They went to a major concert here in Denver a month ago and wiped the F out on an e-scooter.
Oh, really?
Like black eye, stitches.
No.
And yeah. And this is just like a man in his late 40s. Just recovering from a major health issue.
That sucks.
But there is something, Erica, when you're feeling no pain and you're like, I'm going to get it. Because I'm sure it's better than getting an Uber. And you're like, oh, I got to get in this guy's car. It's like, I want to feel free. I want the wind blowing in my face. It's like, do you I've never been on one of those things.
I'm going to be honest. I won't get on for vanity purposes alone. Have you seen road rash on face?
My
That's hard.
Colorado company said I wasn't allowed to be on a scooter.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. I don't know why.
Just,
why would you endanger? I mean, yes, the broken bones and all of those things.
But the face.
But your face?
Your moneymaker.
What is...
like,
what? Oh, if you fall?
Yeah.
Yes!
You can mess up your whole face.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like when you hear
Your
about these pro athletes
Moneymaker.
on motorcycles. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Jason
Williams.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
famous.
God, that was in Illinois.
He was going to be one of the best point guards that ever
Oh,
lived.
I'll
He
never
was so
forget
good.
that
He went to
red
Duke.
motorcycle.
Wait, was it Jason Williams? Jay
Williams.
Yeah, he went Jay Williams.
Oh, he wrapped
And
that thing around that tree. Oh,
his
my
rookie
God.
year.
Oh my God, I remember that like it was
It ended his
yesterday.
career.
Ooh.
And yeah, so I mean, I know we sound old, but all my friends
No.
that are doctors are like, stay off those things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
please, we want you to keep watching. So you stay off those things. Night owls, we love you. Night owls.
Hoot, hoot.
We out.